Okay. Welcome everyone to this week's Meditation Town Hall. Today we have a special guest in Lama Surya's absence. We have one of the senior students, Timo Speckens. I'm sure it'll be a great meditation town hall today, so welcome. I'd like to point you to a upcoming masterclass course. It's starting September 10th, the whole series of masterclasses. Please go to dzogchen.org for more information to sign up. The series is called Dharma Dances, and it's the third masterclass course series. Thanks a lot, and we'll get started soon with Timo.
Soon will be then right now. Hey, good morning, all you beautiful awakening wonders. I'm scrolling through the screen so I can see all your faces. Hi. I know so many of you, and those I don't know, I will know soon, I hope. Hi. So yes, no waiting to be present. Maybe take a nice breath. I sure could use one. And just kind of sensing into the beauty of the Sangha, that we get together, right? And then the teaching goes that the Sangha is the Buddha. Right? And the next coming of the Buddha will be the Sangha. And that Sangha is us. So I have to change the gallery view because I can just see my own face, and that's really distracting. Okay. So would you please realize that this togetherness is not a small thing at all. And just the fact that you come to this place is amazing. So would you please thank the yogi on your seat for coming to this place filled with loving intent, choosing to be here instead of 1,000 other options on this Sunday morning, and awakening to what it feels like to be you, which is the Buddha. It's pretty amazing, yes, that what it feels like to be us. That's it already. The awakened one on your seat. No longer letting all that doubt flow. So I will move a little bit with my voice, maybe choreograph our minds and hearts as a group. And so please be present throughout whatever movement there is, the movement of my voice or of your mind. So yes, I've been a long-time student of Lama Surya. My first retreat was in 2007, so some of you have been coming a lot longer, I know. But it has been nothing but gratitude. The mere fact that I'm allowed to sit on this seat and hold of all of you is just amazing. So I might address a few Lama-isms or lineage-isms, like Lama often talks about space mingling. We'll play with that a bit, and by itself arising and by itself liberating. And like a child in the temple for the first time, that's the gaze, the all at onceness of the experience of what it is to be us in this world. The simultaneous view of the totality of being and whatever is dancing in that space. So the gaze, I kind of like to call it the all at onceness gaze. So when you, either with the eyes closed or open, usually in Sochen we also practice quite a bit with the eyes open, is trying to gaze at everything at once. Right? So not particularizing from the heart, and then gazing from the heart and gazing from beingness. So if I ask you, are you aware? Where do you go? And if I ask you, who are you? What do you do or don't do? So when I ask you to be present, kind of experience that shift. Look at the shift itself, and notice that it's not a doing. It's actually more of like a dropping, and like a bit of an unveiling. So here we are together and present. Haven't done any formal taking refuge. Right now, we're just taking refuge in our own hearts and minds, and come to realize that's the ultimate safe space. But here for a bit of form, Semyi Nelok Tokpa Jindi Laptusol, please bless us that we may come to recognize the nature of mind, the natural state, which includes what it feels like to be us this morning. Maybe a bit mundane, maybe happy to be here, maybe it's a difficult day. But yeah, that's the shimmer, the dance of the Buddha or of the awakened one. So we often forget that we are thinking, and we end up falling asleep within our own competence. And we forget that thinking itself is just a beautiful expression of our creative mind. We end up feeling disheartened while moving back into presence, like, oh, distracted again. Which some call the walk of shame. In place of celebrating the joy of rediscovery of our true essence over and over. The recognizing or recognizing of brilliantly, brightly awakened awareness knowingly, which deserves a wholehearted welcome home every time. And sometimes you can just fake it while you make it. Every time you come into presence, maybe you can have this little voice. Thank you. So maybe join me for a beautiful breath into presence. Here we are, sharing the same space of mind with our own unique manifestation. From the Sochen perspective, we create our own manifest universe from thought. We become what we think. Our thoughts habituate certain patterns at different emotional frequencies, which are interpreted by the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind now constructs a self-manifesting prophecy, which we experience in and as the physical world. It invites people, circumstances, and even physical objects into our sphere of being. And there's the experiencing of that. And from there, we burst into the experiencer and the experienced. And that's the dance, that is the shimmer in the space. We become what we frequently think about. The less we try, the more abundance we will receive. The more we decontract into an open, pre-manifest freedom of spacious mind, the more we relax into excellence and attract and express from peace and love. This love, no other than wisdom, and wisdom no other than love, manifests because of the lack of resistance, allowing the free flow of the ultimate creativity of the universe, the Buddha mind, Dharmakaya, open spacious freedom. The universe expresses skillful, or Buddha mind expresses skillful, compassionate means to us because of the lack of friction. This is where effortlessness manifests abundance. It's a natural law. And Sochen meditation is effortless, so effortless that we call it non-meditation. So shorties more so than longies. Just waking up, many times through the day for a short little meditation, maybe that one breath. And also during the meditation, being awakened, brightening the mind. Oh yeah. Maybe having that metacognitive presence, that overview of like, oh yeah, not quantity. What is the quality of my meditation? Better one beautiful, incredibly perfect, enlightened breath than holding on tight like a little needy yogi. No, just relaxing and trusting. So maybe let me take another breath. No waiting for a meditation to start. Your meditation started upon birth. The knowing of your meditation is what we're doing right now. Your life being the meditation. So let's brighten our minds and open our hearts. So relax your awareness from focusing on the content of experience and ease into the open, silent space of awareness itself. So in place of many other meditations where we use attention like an anchor or a gentle leash to the nowness experience, as Lama Surya calls it so beautiful, we use awareness itself really as the anchor, awareness upon awareness. It's a relaxing of attention, a returning or sinking of the mind back into its open, spacious, silent origin. The well of boundless loving potentiality, or essence of pure awareness from which it has ascended. This returning of awareness to itself is a remembrance and celebration of itself. Being aware of being aware is the true essence of meditation and prayer, and a direct vessel to peace and joy, and the first step into Sochen. So not so heady. Just feel your awareness and just let it descend along the cheekbones and the throat and the chest region, and let it descend into the heart region. It's just a bit metaphorical because the origin of our beingness is the heart. It's more like an unveiling. The head is the office, the heart is home. Just come on home and aware from the heart. And feel the beauty of your loving, awakened heart. So when we really drill down to the deepest essence of the Dharma, it's just purely a transmission of love. So when we practice, one way of experience awakening is by turning our heart into kind of an artistic expression of beauty. And there are no bounds on how beautiful art can be. And yes, the potential range of our hearts are boundless. And maybe you can even feel it, just being in this space with us. By being really discerning, maybe you can sense it in this sweet collective, this softly flourishing development of beauty being created in our hearts indeed, and in the collective heart of the Sangha. So when we really look into our hearts, we always feel this little shimmer with the wish to be happy, right? But from the perspective of the yogi, or the mature yogi, or the Buddha, this wish for happiness is the wish for the happiness of all beings. So most positive mind states are fostered just from mere intent. So let's set our intent. Let's set the purpose of our practice for the benefit of all in this interconnected sea of beings. So setting your intention towards awakening, and may that awakening be for the benefit of all beings indeed. Awakening doesn't take lifetimes, doesn't even take time. So setting our intention towards awakening to make sure that awakened awareness populates our lives more and more. So let's set that intent. Just feel into that. that beautiful wish for all beings to awaken. So all beings realize that can be the source of healing for all sentient beings. As Lama Roger Walsh sometimes says, maybe the most profound wish that ever arose in the human mind. To really deeply explore what we are looking for answers is a path of deep care. And the answer of who we really are is not something you can figure out, it's only something you can be. And then we become the answer. So usually on our seats, there are a little bit of, when the yogi kind of bursts into two factors on your seat. It's the one searching for wisdom and the one meditating. So let them both go. Let this be the most fresh meditation ever. Just pure being. And then indeed, the more deeply we look, the more intention we have to love. And then we come to realize that the repercussions of our practice, of this unfolding of awakening, are social. And realizing that the innate wish for us all to come to realize that becoming the person we wish to be is already fully present in our hearts and minds. All of us sweet yogis in this online family embody the contradiction of being and evolving, or being and becoming, or being and becoming realized. So this is being realized while in the process of realization. As Lama Surya says, in Sochen, the ladder is flat on the ground. So let's take our seats from that perspective. The immaculate perspective of being a master while becoming a master, or the exquisite perspective of being a Buddha while becoming a Buddha. Or maybe take a breath. Mouth open. Let the breath flow out to the furthest reaches of the universe. And sit like a master. Sit at the foot of this loving lineage coming down to us. And Lama Surya sitting at the bottom right there of the long lineage. He who wishes us to be so free from suffering and so full of compassion and realization. What does it feel like to be a Lama? Well, that's what it feels like to be you. Just open up. So, what is the source you are practicing from or expressing your life from? Brightly awakened awareness with all the cells engaged, every cell an expression of the whole? Or the habitual what about me mind with its tendency of radical protection of the non-existing thing? So let go, sweet little yogi. You're the one you've been waiting for. So a manifest universe of your own making only makes us think we are not free-falling through space at all times. Just open up in that spaciousness with trust and freedom. And then just feeling into what is goodness in you. Let love be your beacon to the liberation from the narrative of who you think you are not. It is an open, present space to take refuge from. So Robert, when you're ready, could you please open the book for the Sangha to page 10 with the 4 immeasurable aspirations? And we just continue being the presence of awareness. Yep, page 10. Oh, I'm so sorry. I confused you because I work with an older book. So the four immeasurable aspirations. Don't listen to my page numbers. Sorry, Robert. Here I was making notes. Yeah. Thanks. May all beings possess happiness and the inner causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering. May all beings remain undivided from the sacred joy, which is free from suffering. May all beings come to rest in great peace and equanimity, beyond attachment and aversion to friends, enemies, or strangers. And then the four dharmas, please, on the same page. Okay. Bless and empower us that our minds and hearts turn toward the Dharma. Bless and empower us that our Dharma practice becomes the path. Bless and empower us that the path truly dispels confusion. Bless and empower us that confusion itself dawns as primordial awareness. Bless and empower us that all difficult mind states dawn as primordial awareness and primordial wisdom and primordial compassion. And then on the 7-line supplication on page 1. Thank you, Robert. Origin yulji noob jang tsum, pe marge sardong pola, yatsen chok yin yu drup nye, pe majung ne jesu drak, kor du kandro mang pokor, kie ki jesu dar drup ki, jinji lap shir shek su so, Guru Pema Sudi Hung Om Ahung Benzargu 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 Pema Sudi Hung. Sounding straight from awakened awareness. Om Ahung Benzargu Pema Sudi Hung. 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 Om Ahung Menzagu, pay my city home. Softly, gently. Om Menzagu, pay my city home. Om Menzagu, pay my city home. One more time with just your hearts. Thank you, Robert. You can close the book when you're ready. Please be the presence of spacious, empty, luminous, loving awareness knowingly right now. The knowingly spacious, loving, inherently peaceful, and completely fulfilled space-like presence of awareness. Loving because it welcomes absolutely all experience. Loving because it inspires and fosters the arising of loving, skillful means and fills our lives with compassion. Either with the eyes open or the eyes closed, gaze into the surrounding open empty space. The limitless empty space that permeates everything. Mingle your awareness into the open space and mingle the open space into your awareness. Spacious awareness that saturates everything. Literally from the heart, allow awareness to arise and flow out the eyes and the local sphere of being and fill the space around with the knowing of being. Unlike regular space, this space has a knowing quality. Please notice that this space of awareness does not shift or change. It's invariable and not subject to time, and therefore ever present, and shines with the light of being and the knowing of being. Now notice that awareness is without bound, limitless, and expands into all directions like a boundless sphere. And in that boundlessness, feeling into the Sangha on this Zoom call, and the Sangha of all beings. In that boundlessness, we are interconnected. Where do you end and we begin? No inside, no outside. Just being aware of being aware. If you wish to join me, let's have a refresh with a beautiful breath. And maybe see if you can discern the difference between being aware of being aware and just being. the Immaculate Perspective, sitting like a Buddha. And indeed, if you're a little distracted, bring it back to presence and welcome home. Realizing that in that movement from somewhat distraction back into presence is where all the healing happens. Thank you, distraction, for being my healing friend. Sometimes a little dullness sneaks in, or as Lamar Suya calls it, some ice forms on top of presence. Just an instruction that sometimes comes down the lineage is brighten your mind. So maybe take a breath and brighten your mind, bright. Maybe feeling the brightness of the boundless potentiality of wisdom just shimmering, shining with love. Maybe brightening could be somewhat similar to what Lama Roger said 2 weeks ago about even become more aware. And then when I was practicing, I felt a bit of a difference between brightening and more aware, but that might be a limiting belief. You play with it. Brighten, be more aware. Just pop into awakened, brilliantly alert, awakened awareness. The Immaculate View. This is the flow or the stream of spacious freedom. Be boundless, the field of awareness, shimmering with presence. Not holding it really tight so no thoughts will arise. By itself arising and by itself dissolving. And we sometimes forget the arising. We get kind of attached to that state of no thought and blissy spaciousness. The primordial hot tub, blissy hot tub. So relax the mind a little and allow it to move a bit. Just simple. Maybe allow the feeling of what it's like to be you, to be like within that space, but gazed upon from the boundless field of awareness. No localization. By itself, there's a certain automaticity. And then, who is doing the meditation? Lama Surya often asks. The stream of being, by itself, from within itself, as itself. And from this open, spacious freedom perspective, anything that arises has no seductive qualities. It just comes and it goes. that arises and liberates. Thoughts are awareness, feelings are awareness, emotions are awareness, sights are awareness, sounds are awareness. And all insubstantial, all empty upon arising. The most profound, amazing female master Niguma and Dakini said, "So close, I didn't recognize it. So close, I didn't recognize it." Our awareness is so simple, I couldn't believe it. So simple, I couldn't believe it. Our awareness is so profound, I couldn't conceive of it. So profound, I couldn't conceive of it. A sphere of beingness is. And the fourth one, so noble, I didn't deserve it. So noble, it felt like I didn't deserve it. So feel that shimmering presence, that shimmering immediacy, a softness, a sweetness, a sacredness, if you will. That's our true essence. Let's take a last collective breath together, back into togetherness. Returning to our presence in the world, the simultaneous view of the wide open, spacious freedom, and us here now. No one has completely figured out how to live. Sometimes it feels that we are somewhat in over our heads. So much of it is trying to manage the fundamental vulnerability to live in this world as a human. This soft background din of doubt and ambiguity, which is woven into the human circumstance, is sometimes experienced as the human predicament. When life is just viewed and experienced from the perspective of the little what about me mind. But when we walk the path of spacious freedom, experiencing life from boundless openness as a vast field of being. Anything that arises has no substantiality and indeed no seductive quality. Then beingness, sometimes called the matrix of the now or Buddha mind, is whole, flawless, complete, not lacking anything, without the partners or other. This experience of being without separateness is what we call love. Apparent separate beings within boundless being, but in reality there are no separate beings, there is just being. One infinite, inseparable whole. Love is not something a person does, not an experience that a person has. Love is the cessation of the individual. It is the death of the individual. And that's why everyone adores love. Because everybody seeks to free themselves of the wound of apartness, the ache of separateness. So, one more time, feel the collective. The Buddha is the Sangha, and that's us. And on behalf of all beings, thank you so much for your beautiful practice. Robert, when you can we please see the prayer book and do the dedication practices like bodhicitta? I don't know what page it is, obviously. Oh, I can even have some form. Yeah, I take I take them both. The one about, yeah, thank you very much. Gewa di nyurdu dak jokpa chempo drup gyurnye drowa chikyang malupa de sala gopar shuk. Through this virtue may we swiftly realize and fully embody the natural great perfection, and thereby bring all without exception to its complete realization. Jangchup semchok rinpoche make panam kye gyurchik kyepa nyampa me paharyang gongne gongdu pelvar shuk. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And please the New Millennium Prayer. May all beings everywhere, with whom we are inseparably interconnected, and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world, and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression, greed and cruelty, pandemics, famine, droughts, earthquakes, all kinds of natural disasters. May all be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey, one beloved community, one circle, one family, all the way home. Thank you so much. Love you very much. Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Debbie. We have a little meditation group that gets together every morning at 8 on Zoom. And there's a link in the chat window if you want to join us one day. We would love that. And if you had any realization or lack of it, or a question or anything, we have 4 minutes, because Nanna keeps a tight ship. It's the light bearer. Can you unmute?
There we go. There we go. There's Timo. Thank you, Timo.
There's
Thank you.
Glenda. Thank you, Glenda.
Buddha. Timo, I hadn't heard it called the ache of separateness. Man, that did it. That's the deal. The loneliness of not feeling whole and pure and innocent, like the great perfection. I'd never heard it said that. Thank you, Timo.
That's moving, huh?
Oh,
Because
moving.
that ache is often so implicit too, right? It's just kind of woven into the texture of our life. And
Everything.
it turns into little running bunnies, instead of just like, "Ah, it's all okay." I see so many faces I know. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah. And then I sometimes ask, what is your joy today? And then I kind of tongue in cheek means it includes all the difficulties that a life can contain. And it's sometimes a little not so good because some people give pushback, or I might not really completely understand the depth of their suffering or their pain. But this manifestation of what we are, this apparent manifestation, wishes to experience absolutely everything. So let's just allow everything to just flow through us in this life, and just stay, in the view, from the spacious view where things have no seductive quality. They just flow, come and go. Does anybody have an experience that they want to mention? Really, it's very healing for all of us when you share. Otherwise, I'll end up sharing more.
Hey,
Okay.
Timo.
there's sunshine.
Here I am. I just wanted to thank you for a beautiful practice. And also, we've been talking about in our group a little bit about that instruction brightening a lot and sort of into that. And just wanted to thank you. That instruction always just sort of, and
Puffs you up.
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. So I don't know if you want to
Well,
say.
what I wanted to say is like when that instruction comes, I've had that in different meditation rooms. Like now, it's like counteracting dullness. So you have to be, very observant. Have that metacognitive view once in a while. You pop out. It's either suffused through your practice, noticing that maybe there's a bit of dullness, and then you just brighten, or they call pet, right? Or indeed, as Lama Roger did it, even being more aware, just more aware, without greediness. Uh-oh, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you all so much for coming to this place. It's really not a small thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the teachings, Timo. And thank you everyone for joining this morning.
Sorry for
Bye.
confusing you, Robert.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Bye.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.